Has it really been a year? Okay, let's just get this going. So here's the computer itself. Now, I actually purchased this computer exactly 1 year ago today at a flea market for $50. Now, the computer itself came with stock stuff. It had an Intel quad core clocked at 2 GHz, 4 gigs of RAM, and two 160 gig hard drives, and that was it. This computer, though, with the shittiest specs ever, ran actually surprisingly amazing. Of course, this computer originally came with Windows Vista, and that I'm not even going to talk about that. But yeah, now this is the early 2010 model, so it's still kind of old to this day. Now, since the purchase of this computer, I actually have upgraded the specs in this computer. Now, the main specs. Over winter break of this year, I upgraded the CPU. Now, this computer, like I said, had a Xeon X5405 CPU, clocked at 2 GHz. It was fast. I lasted almost a year with it. I loved it. It was cheap CPU. It was like 20 bucks or two. I upgraded it with a X5460. It's a quad core still, clocked at 3 GHz, sorry, 3 GHz. Now, that may not seem a lot, but that actually added a lot of power. Oh yeah, let me just say, this computer actually has 2 CPU slots, and I have 2 CPU slots. So yeah. Now, of course, I also upgraded the hard drive. This certainly has a 1TB SSHD hyperdrive. I replaced the optical drive with a Blu-ray rewritable drive, because I actually love Blu-rays and I love making movies, so I had to have it. And I upgraded the graphics card to a Radeon 5450. Now, right now, my only dream to upgrade this computer with is upgrading the graphics cards to a much better graphics card. This was the one I've been using when I actually bought this. I just put it in there and that's it. I'm really wanting a GTX 980 or 750, but that's just so expensive. I also upgraded the RAM. This computer now has 16 gigs of RAM, and I might do 32. I just don't know yet. But yeah, let's get into the computer and show off the benchmarks. So here's the computer itself. Of course, I am not using a Windows stock wallpaper. I'm using the amazing One Punch Man wallpaper, because that anime is just wow. So let's just look at the specs on this computer really quickly. So here are the specs. As you see right there, I don't think there's a way to zoom on this. But right now, it's running Windows 10 Professional, because this Windows on this computer is actually amazing. Of course, if you are thinking about getting this computer or rebuilding it for yourself, not all things is comparable with this. Like, I remember all the things in the motherboard except the USB doesn't. No, the sound card in the USB does not work. In the motherboard does not work. I had to buy an external sound card for it to work, and there's no Wi-Fi. I was gonna say Wi-Fi. The Ethernet port doesn't work, but you can downgrade that and it will still work. So just don't upgrade. Just don't upgrade the software, and it should be able to work. But yeah, of course, as I said, there is an Intel Xeon X5460, 16 gigs of RAM, and it's a 64-bit version. Now, let's just start on the Geek Mention stuff. Now, here are my scores. Now, if you would actually compare this to a newer, modern Skylake processors, like the new ones that just came out, these would be at the way bottom. But the scores right now are actually really good. If you calculate it, I usually calculate the multi-core score. It ranges from an i5 quad core to an i7 dual core. It also depends on which type of CPU, but yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so at the moment, I'm opening the benchmark for PC Mark 8. I'm running photo editing. This should take around 20 minutes, I don't know, but yeah. Just showing it off before the benchmark happens. So here are my scores on this computer using PC Mark 8. As you have a score of 3080 on an ATI Radeon HD 5750. My graphics card scores aren't that bad. As you see from there, those are comparisons to what they compared it to. The reason is kind of low is, well, the graphics card. As you see with most of these computers, they're using GTX 980s and 750s, yada, which I definitely need. Sorry about that. I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But yeah, I definitely need a new score card to make the score higher, but yeah. Now, since it's actually been a year, what I can really say of this computer is, it was worth it. This whole year, this computer has been capable of doing a lot of things, and by a lot of things, I really mean a lot of things. There's just no lag, and Windows 10 on it is just perfect. Hopefully, I'll be able to use this computer for the next couple of years, but if something happens, I'll be okay. But yeah. Anyways, you guys, this has been Johnny. Subscribe, rate, and like, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.